It's Oklahoma Archery. Everything archery based out of Oklahoma for Oklahoma.
When do you want me to start?
We're rolling, baby.
Let's get it started.
He's going to throw some music on there.
Well, you need to throw that out so the dead air there. Okay. Jericho Memorial is going to be this Saturday. Our books open at 8, close at noon. It's a trickle start, $15 entry fee. It's honoring the life of Jerry Cole, who was a game ranger here in Oklahoma for years. Jerry was from Barnesville originally. That's where he graduated from high school at, and we hunted together for years. This will be the 27th annual Jerry Cole Memorial, and it's sponsored by Wagoner Archery Club and the Oklahoma Game Wardens Association. Jerry was a big bow hunter. He loved to deer hunt, turkey hunt, just anything. And Wagner's proud to hold this, and like I said, 27 years. And we invite anybody that wants to come out to come and shoot. I think you'll have a good time. Our Masonic Lodge is barbecuing. They have barbecue bologna, hot or mild links, chips, and a drink for $7. You can't beat that price. But the Wagoner Archery Club's been here for, well, this is 27 years for us too, because we had our first memorial. The first year we had a club here. We have on league nights, we have one night is strictly traditional, and then another night is anybody, compounds, whatever. And we averaged about 17 or 18 traditional shooters on a Wednesday night, and about 22 compound shooters on Thursday night. We don't want to welcome anybody who wants to shoot a bow to come and shoot with us. And that goes from the 1st of January to the middle of March. Then we'll have a couple of indoor tournaments, NFAA 300 rounds during the shooting year. In the summer, we have 3 to 5 3D championships, 3D tournaments, and they're marked distance. They're all marked distance, and so bring your rangefinder. What else do you want to know?
we missed the introductions on you there, but that's everything we needed to get out. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Roger Hayes with us tonight. He is by far the oldest friend I've had in the archery hunting game. I think I met Roger when I was about 3 years old. I walked up to him at full draw and said, "I hope you miss." And I don't know if he actually did or not, but that's by far his favorite story to tell.
Well, I was getting ready to tell that story, Neil. You're about 3 or 4 years old with your mother at Tulsa Archery. I pulled back at a standing bear, which is over a cliff, and I've never talked to you before in my life. He said, "I hope you miss." And well, you know what? I did, because I was laughing so hard I couldn't hold my bow still. And we've been friends ever since. You know?
I was going to say, it's been 30 years of flinging arrows together since then, man. We've been all over. So Roger's the guy you want to know if you're anywhere near Wagoner or northeast part of Oklahoma. They've always got something going on out there at Wagoner Archery Association. I remember growing up out there shooting indoor, and I think that's one of the very first places I got to shoot 3D. So, you know, if you're anywhere in the northeast corner of the state, you've probably run into Roger somewhere. Probably got probably heard a few stories that we won't tell here, but you know, that's kind of what we look for in the archery game. It's, you're going to see some new friends, you're going to see some old friends, and you know, basically get to shoot the breeze with them. Dave, when's the last time you went out to Wagoner to shoot?
And I don't honestly remember. It was probably 98 or 99. Yeah.
There you go. Was it indoor or outdoor?
It would have been indoor for me at that point. Yeah.
So Wagoner's one of the very few ranges in Oklahoma that has both indoor facility and outdoor range right there. So real quick, before everybody gets bored and turns it off, drop the address. How do they find Wagoner, and who do they get in contact with if they want to, you know, buy a membership, or if they just want to take a tour of the place?
They can call me at 918-485-5728. I can meet them out there, show them around. Our range is located east of town on Toppers Road, right next to the rodeo grounds. Can't hardly miss.
If you get to the, go ahead, Dave.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, am I thinking, I'm trying to place the range indoors. Does it have kind of a low ceiling?
No, we didn't have it. Our first year we had it was 2001. So you're probably thinking somewhere else, Dave.
Okay. There's a good chance I probably was then.
Yeah.
You know, thinking about it, I may be thinking of Tahlequah.
And they had a low ceiling. Yep.
Yeah, I bet I'm thinking of Tahlequah. Yeah.
Not far from Wagoner, really.
Nope, I mean, 25 miles.
hop, skip, and a step. Y'all are way out here. I don't know if you're more north or more east, but y'all usually get a pretty good draw from everybody up there. You got the Tulsa crowd, pretty close to Kansas, Arkansas, Missouri. Not far, really.
We get them from Arkansas. We get them from Joplin, Missouri, Kansas, everywhere.
So let's go back to the Stone Ages, if you will. Roger, tell everybody how long you've been shooting, and what. Give us some stuff about what you've seen in archery over the past several decades. I know you're a Hall of Fame member, the OSAA, it's the Oklahoma State Archery Association. So I think you've been in the Hall of Fame for 15 or 20 years now.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
somewhere back.
I've only been shooting for 70. Let me think here. 71 years. That's how long I've been shooting.
A kid. It keeps you young, doesn't it?
Well, I don't know about that. When I get through shooting, I don't feel that way.
Well, you're also setting up the range and tearing it down, running it, cooking, posting scores, doing awards. Yeah, it's a full-time occupation for a guy. So tell everybody how you got started and what led to the birth of Wagoner Archery Range up there.
Well, where I got started was a guy that played for the New York Jets when they won their first, the only Super Bowl. Dennis Randall lived across the street from me. He's about 4 or 5 years older than I was, and that was in Tulsa. And he got me started shooting the bow when I was about 5 years old, and that's how I got started. Wagoner started because we have a bunch of guys here: Evan Boyd, Charlie Burns, Rooster Potts, and Tom Sweeney. We all got together and we built the range. Jerry Hefner was the state rep back then, and he helped us get a grant to build the building. And those grants are not available anymore, but that's how we got a building. And we have a really nice indoor range. We have a nice outdoor range. We spray for ticks, we spray for weeds. It's real clean. We try to keep it cost down for everybody. And that's how Wagoner Archery got started. And we've had coon shoots. We've had probably 20, 25 state championships out here at Broadhead, Mark 3D, unmarked 3D. And we just try to promote archery. We just got through with our church, First Baptist Church here in town, had a sports camp. We got through putting on a couple of weeks ago, the archery phase of that. We had a ton of kids out and enjoying shooting anywhere from 6 years old up. And we do things like that for kids all the time. We give lessons on Tuesday night for kids, and they really enjoy it. We really try to push archery. And speaking of pushing archery, you guys have pushed the ASA to the extreme. You guys doing a great job. You built this state up like no others.
I'd love to take credit for it, but you just tell them what time to be there, and they show up with their bow and $30 on their own. Man, they're pretty self-sufficient. Sometimes you got to throw a little water out there on the course for them, but other than that, man, it's just if you build it, they'll come. So yeah. For me, what kind of drove it was I was the only child. We lived out in the country. You go to school, they tell you to shut up and pay attention and be quiet. And you go to church on Sunday and you see some more kids and they tell you to shut up and be quiet. And, I'm sure, Roger, you being a superintendent for all those years, you had your fair share of discipline in kids. But archery was the first place growing up where you actually get to go talk and socialize to people. And you're like, hey, I'm not getting yelled at anywhere here, or at least not till I need to be. So
only when you tell someone, I hope you miss.
Oh, yeah. I didn't. Maybe I didn't say I hope you miss. I said I bet you're gonna miss.
No, you said I hope you miss.
Oh,
I'm starting to feel on the outside here, but I'm starting to see this has been embedded into his mind for a while. He's ready to get this out.
He wants forgiveness. I can tell you right now.
Hey, however, you got to make friends, man. I go to the national events and I've shot. They randomly group you with some people. And I rolled up to a stake, and it was 2 guys I'd shot with and 2 guys I'd never met before. And they look over the shoulder, and they're like, "You on 13?" I was like, "Yeah, that's what stake I'm on." And they're like, "Oh, here we go again. You guys are in. You guys better buckle up. Neil's he might shoot good, he might shoot bad. He's gonna talk your ear off either way." So it's just a good place to meet people because we all have a common interest. Most of them have good deer hunting or turkey hunting stories. Sometimes they'll tell you, "Yeah, I got more turkeys than anything up in Kansas. You better come up when season opens." I'm like, "I'll be there." I mean, you ain't got to tell me twice.
Well, I walked up on 10 poults this morning with 2 hens when I was doing my walking out the range. And so we've got a few turkeys out there too.
There you go. Them's off limit turkeys, aren't they?
They're off limit, yeah, except for me. I'll slip in there, with my bow.
Do you do most of your hunting with a compound, or have you been more of a traditional hunter over the years?
Oh,
50-50.
I went back to Blackwood and recurve, but I shot and hunted with the compound for years.
There you go. So a little bit of both.
Yeah.
So back when you started, I'm guessing it was all recurve.
Didn't have compounds back then.
What'd you guys think of the compounds when they first came out?
Well, they're really kind of crude. I shot an Allen, the first one I shot, and I said, this is not any better than what I'm shooting with the recurve. Then they got better. I got a Jennings in 77, and they shot like a dream. So that hooked me for a while.
Yeah. If y'all have never been to Wagoner's Archery Clubhouse out there, you got to go check out. It is almost the Smithsonian of archery. They have old primitive releases from probably the 80s and 90s, I'm guessing. Back in
the 70s.
Yeah. And they've also got a whole bunch of broadheads, and they're all in these big glass display cases, kind of like a shadow box. And you can look at it and see archery through the decades here. I mean, there's some of them that guys will look at that and say, oh, my dad had one of those, or I've still got one like that in silver. And it's pretty crazy, like to see the technology evolve from where we started.
These releases we have were donated by Dean Pridgeon. And Dean Pridgeon, about a 38-time national champion, indoor and field champion, one of the greatest shooters you ever come out of the United States. But they all belong to Dean, and he lets us display them.
I think I've got one of his over here somewhere.
You probably do.
You probably borrowed it.
It came from Dad. He tried to hinge one time, and I think they probably rearranged the front of his teeth, and that was the last time.
Oh, yeah.
Not that you could tell, but yeah. Dave knows what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about too.
Oh man, I've punched myself in the last year and a half 4 times, and it's been with a button every time. So the hinge is not a problem. It's just, it must be all that bad karma I've got headed my way. Just had a few malfunctions on it, and a couple different brands too. So it's not like we want to single one brand out and pick on them. It's been across the board malfunctions. So I'm liking my stand right now, because it doesn't have me flinching when I draw my bow.
Roger, what bow you shooting right now?
Black Widow, one piece.
Okay, so you're shooting back to recurving it?
Yep.
You got any long bows?
Excuse me?
I asked if you had any long bows.
No, I don't shoot a long bow. Stick with a recurve.
Okay.
They're tough enough, let alone, a long bow or a self bow. But we will have a self bow class out here this weekend too. So we'll have probably 10 or 12 self bow shooters.
It's probably been 15 years. I went to that OJAM. Yeah, it was held. The year I went was up at Perkins.
Yeah.
That was the neatest thing.
Yeah, they'll have you help you build your own bow and everything else.
Yeah.
Takes 2.5 days worth of whittling on a stave. So they call it a stave. Yeah.
Stave, yes.
I saw Travis Long built one. He brought that thing to the indoor range and was absolutely just wadding them up at 20 yards. I was like, man, he went from killing them with the compound to killing them with the recurve to killing them with the self bow to, I think he's going to be spearing them next year. I mean, that's the only thing left to do is just, get rid of the string altogether.
Yeah.
I know at one point, I don't remember what little tour group they are located or with, but it seems like they kind of start at one weekend, and might be Kansas they go to and take it to and then they kind of go to different ones and work on them and stuff. Yeah,
they do. There's a place, Prairie Grove, Arkansas, Cane Creek Outfitters, Cane Creek Archery, and they do it over there too. They're everywhere. They're trying to promote the self bow.
Yeah. Very interesting. It is. They were sitting there napping the arrow heads and everything else. It was really neat.
Yeah, they used to do that at the Tulsa Archery. Used to have a swap meet in the late summer before hunting season would start, and they always had an old fella out there just arrowhead after arrowhead. He'd sit there and whack those rocks all day. And I was like 4. I was like, I want to learn. He's like, you're probably going to break it as soon as we get close to it. So But here you go. Why don't you whack this rock with a stick? 3 hours later, I'm like, I don't think I'm any closer to having something lethal than I was when I started. He goes, yeah, but you sure been quiet over there. So I guess it worked.
That's a good babysitting tool.
Yeah. Yeah. If they're not quiet, I mean, you got the club right there in the right hand. If I can keep from hitting my own thumb with it, I'll be good. But I've seen the way those guys will chip around, and sometimes it's a big hammer, sometimes it's a little piece, and square peg round hole for me.
Roger, did anybody else in your family shoot?
My grandkids and my kids used to shoot, but they don't do it at the moment. I wish they get back into it. Maybe they will. Now I have an older grandson, and he bow hunts all the time, but does not shoot tournaments anymore.
Okay.
So you come out to your range just for practice, just to keep showing?
Yeah.
So what's the membership at Wagoner cost? And is it a 24-hour access? Is it just during certain times? How do y'all run that?
Well, it's real expensive. You have to bring your checkbook. It's a calendar year, $20. For the family, it's $30, the immediate family. And then access to our outdoor range. We have old 3D targets out there. And anytime you want to. Now, the indoor range, we just reserve it from when we have given lessons, we have tournaments or leagues, because we'd like to keep it pristine like it is now. It's not torn up.
Mm-hmm. I say, if you're out there shooting, there's a couple of my arrows from the OSAA state unmarked 3D that have they're probably about to land. I think I judged one for 46, and it was about 32 yards. And
we got them mounted on the wall waiting for you.
Yeah, once that arrow's done orbiting the Earth, I'd like that back. It's an Easton Red Line 400 spine.
Got it.
Oh man! So talk about a little bit. I know there's a rotating schedule for some of the OSAA state championships. Y'all have hosted indoor marked 3D, unmarked 3D. Do you always put in for those different bids and try to get a few of them out there?
Yeah, we try to get one a year. Now this year we usually take the unmarked because nobody wants to do that, and we'll have a guest class, and so we'll make up on the limited participation on that. But your home club wanted it this year, TAA, so I didn't bid on it. We let them have it, and they did a really good job of it, except it poured down rain the whole time.
Yeah, we saw some of the videos in there. That was you got to want it bad to be out there on that hill in that rain.
Yeah.
Did you show up and shoot that one?
Do what now?
Did you go to that one to shoot?
I went over just to help out, and I went over with Kenny and to see what I could do, and Randy Hinton, and so hung around with them while everybody shot.
That's a motley crew right there. You got to watch Randy.
You got to watch both of them.
I mean,
you throw Dale Cooley in there, and you got a trifecta.
So Tulsa, for everybody out there that doesn't know, they've had a great group of core guys that are in their 60s and 70s that have been keeping it going. And this year they finally, for decades, they've been saying, we want some of these younger guys to come take over. We will help you do anything you want to do. We just don't want to run it anymore. Yeah. Does Wagoner have that kind of thing going on too? Do you have some young guys that are stepping up, or are you needing some people out there that are, not involved yet to take a leadership role for you?
We've got 3 new guys that help every time, and they help set up, tear down, and that helps a bunch because there's 3 of us usually put it on, and the youngest one's 62, and I'm the oldest, 76. When you talk about TAA having 60s and 70-year-olds, don't forget Bobby Graham. He's 82, 83 years old. Bob, 17, 18 national champions under his belt. He's out there shooting for time, loose and arrow.
Yeah, and he's helping them set up. And once you see Bobby on the tractor, you just get out of the way.
Get out of his way because he will. Right.
Yeah, he's never touched a brake pad once. I mean, he's full on straightforward. If it's in the way, it's not going to be for long.
He just gears down. He doesn't use those brakes.
Yeah, because he's probably had to change them 100 times. That tractor's 130 years old.
Oh, I know.
So I say, Wagoner, give us a little bit of a preview on what kind of terrain, because you guys have really big, arching, pristine lanes. You got some up and downs, you got some long stuff, you got some dark stuff. Tell everybody kind of about the terrain they can expect if they come shoot a 3D tournament out there.
Well, it's not very steep. There's one section you have to go up a little ways, but not very much. what's really tough about it is the darkness where you shoot back into the woods, and that makes it tough. But like I said, our furthest shot will be 45 yards. Closest shot probably before a compound will be about 17, 18. We mix the yardages up because we want you to act like you're hunting.
There you go. Now, on the Jerry Cole Memorial, you all have people that I've never seen at a tournament show up and shoot this event. And I'm not talking about 3 or 4. I'm talking about 70 or 80 people that I assume most of them are game wardens. So if a guy was going to go poach turkeys this Saturday, would be the time to do it.
That's the day to do it if it's not at Wagoner. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say every game warden in the Tri-County area is there with a bow. And they're usually, just in case anybody's ever been frightened in the woods before, they're in full uniform when you show up. Yeah, you walk around the corner with your bow, and there's 6 of them standing there just telling stories, and you jump, and they're like, "What are you nervous for?" And I'm like, "Well, just instinct, just reaction. Don't worry about me, guys." And you'll see them all out there, and it's good no matter where you live up there in the Northeast because you want to know your local game warden. Call those guys up. They're a resource. It's not just somebody you got to run from when you're spotlighting deer in September.
Yeah, but you'd be surprised how many guys around the corner and see one of them and reach for the billfold, grab the license to show them. That's just instinct, I guess.
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking that same thing when y'all was talking about the 3 hoodlums up at TAA with Dale Cooley and stuff. I was like, all you got to do is walk away from that crowd, just check your pockets.
Oh yeah, they'll be lighter.
Yeah, I'll say you're getting your wallet stolen. If Randy Hinton's there, is the least of your concerns. That man will goose you at full draw, and with no regard to what direction your bow's pointed. I mean, I've seen him do it, and that arrow is still another one of them that hadn't landed yet, waiting on it to enter the Earth's atmosphere. He's a good dude, though. He'll keep it. Good. Randy's the guy that he's at the shop 6 days a week, and he's kind of like Dan Gaston. He might not even bring his bow to the shop that day, but he's there keeping the customers entertained while Miles is working on the bows.
Yeah.
He's looking at pictures of deer and telling hunting stories and cracking jokes. And guys like that in the archery community are what keep people engaged, because you come into a shop and you say you're new, you're nervous and you don't know anything about why your bow's not shooting good, and you hand it over to the guy behind the counter and you're just kind of sitting there feeling ignorant, for lack of a better term. And you got to be that person in the archery shop that, hey man, you get deer on camera, or did you do any good last year, or what kind of release was that? And you just get them talking, and by the time you're done with them after 30 minutes, they're either ready for you to walk away, or they're going to come to a turn. They're going to come to a fun shoot. They're going to come try indoor. My favorite's getting them to come shoot field. You want to shoot 80 yards? Come shoot field with us, man. It's fun. And you just gotta, you gotta be that ambassador that's just, oh man, that's a cool sight. What kind of pin, what size pins is that you're running? And just get them talking, because it's like, it's like waiting on your oil to get changed. If you don't know anybody at the bow shop, you're like, is it time to leave yet? Who do I pay?
Well, you mentioned 2 great ambassadors, Randy Hinton and Dan Gaston. I've started with Dan since the 80s. I mean, he's a great guy too. I'll tell you what, I miss being around him.
Yeah, he's still out there flinging arrows.
I saw him at the State 3D this year in Oklahoma City. Yeah, got to talk to him.
He's where's he at? New Walla is it? It's kind of off to the side of Norman, but I think Choctaw New Walla area. So yeah, if you haven't seen Dan, you haven't been shooting a bow long enough, or you need to shoot your bow a little more often, because he's at the shop 6 days a week. I mean, that's just where he gets up and gets breakfast and goes to the shop, spends about 4 or 5 hours there, talks to half a dozen people, works on half a dozen bows, and he's home by 2 or 3. So, I mean, that's just kind of the name of the game. Roger, you got any big hunting plans this fall?
No, I really don't. Just get out a little bit. I hunt my grandson quite a bit, and he outdoes me every time. So, but that's good.
Does he hunt with a compound, or is he a
compound? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, could be.
What kind of bow do you shoot?
I shoot a Matthews.
Matthews, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
How about you, Neil?
For now,
what are you shooting now, Neil?
I'm still shooting the Darton 35 axle to axle Tritech.
I'm no PSE guy. I picked up a Matthews a couple years ago, and probably about a year and a half ago, and I've really liked it. But yeah, I'm an old PSE guy.
That's a dirty habit, man. You might as well take up smoking. It's just as bad for your longevity. I don't know. I think technology's come a long way that anybody ought to be. If the bow fits you, any of them will shoot. You know,
they all shoot better than we do.
Yeah. No, see, I haven't found a bow yet that shoots as good as I do. So
I've got one for you. I'll loan you, Neil. How's that?
What do you got?
Anything you want. I've got weights, whatever you want.
You shot back from last I remember you shooting. You were one of the few guys that shot barebow compound division back in the day.
And used to, everybody shot that. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just couldn't understand. I saw the rest. I saw the long stabilizer on the front, but I couldn't figure out. I was like, okay, he's not shooting a release, but he ain't got a sight on his bow. What is I thought it was some kind of gimmick, or trick shot. And I'm sitting here watching you counting with your thumbnail all those threads all the way down. You're like 33, 34, 35. And I'm going 27, 28, 29. And you look back at me like, I'm going to punch you in the nose. My dad's like, you better watch out. He'll hit you so many times so fast you won't even be able to fall down. I was like, what, Roger? He goes, oh, yeah, Roger's Olympic boxing coach. He's been all over the world with the U.S. men's team. That's like, maybe I ought to not count them threads while he's counting out loud.
That'd have been nice. That would have been nice.
So you had because there's still one guy that shoots it down here. His name's Ken Lieberton. And he's a great dude. He's always out there shooting field, shoots at a Jeff and Gail's shop down there at the Dell City. And it's fascinating to see the barebow back. I mean, we got recurve barebow guys, but no one's ever seen it done with a compound. And I'm like, no, that was big back in the day. That was a thing. Talk a little bit about, Jame point on, Jame, what kind of arrows were you shooting back then? What kind of bow setups?
Well, I used a golden key Futura rest, which is I think great rest for fingers, and used Easton 2114s. And aim point on. Just you had to walk the string so you could do that, and whatever distance, we shoot up to 80 yards shooting field, and 10 yards your closest one. So you had to have quite a crawl there on your string. But that's what we did. It's always point on.
How many threads down was a 10-yard shot? Just out of curiosity, on average.
Probably about 15. 10.
Okay. Yeah. That's not too bad.
It's not too bad, no.
But it gets hot and everything gets sweaty and your eyes are starting to go and it's July and 100 degrees, 13, 14, 15. All right, good enough.
Excuse me.
What do you want to see more of in the archery community moving forward? What do we need to keep alive and what do we need to get away from?
Just get more kids involved. That's the main thing right there.
Are you seeing to where there in your area? Because I know you said you have a class for just kids. Are you seeing them evolve and staying with it all the way through the teenage years and going into hunting?
Well, usually when they get around 16 and got a car and got a girlfriend, you won't see them for a couple of years.
Okay.
Yeah. They'll usually come back, though, when they're 18, 19, 20 years old.
Okay. But you kind of have a pattern then, don't you?
Oh, yeah. We've got them patterned down really well.
Okay.
It's hard. We've seen a lot of kids that their parents will bring them out just about every weekend. And there's a couple of them I'm thinking of right now that they're just kind of dragging at the end of the year. They're wanting to play sports and, go sing in the choir and play softball and play football. And you're competing with so many different interests. And you want to see them do, go be good at whatever you want to do. Archery, there's more in the world than just archery, but it's so hard to keep their attention because we've all got shorter and shorter attention spans that guys like Roger and there's a whole crew of them out there that'll do anything in the world for you. Seeing the way that they can, like y'all had Ty Dameron when he was a kid.
Ty grew up at our range, yeah.
A little kid, and he could shoot at 10, 12 years old better than some grown men. And now that he's 23, 24, you can see that he's one of them that never lost interest in it. And shout out to Ty. He's been at the top of the game for 15 years now, and he's not 25 years old. So kind of goes to show you.
He's got a real good archery shop here in town too. Really nice one. He expanded about a month ago, so he's got about 3 times the space that he did have.
Yeah, I know he didn't really like the neighbors there next door to him because of the parking situation. So one of them was going to move, and he was going to be the last man standing. So.
Yeah, so they moved. They moved
Yeah.
about a month and a half ago.
I say, if anybody can't see on the screen, if you want to get a hold of Ty, it's 918-605-1822. Ty Bowes Archery. He'll get you. Well, once Ty's kind of like Miles. Once he's done tuning your bow and hands it back to you, all you got to do is execute.
Yep, but they're both excellent people working on your bow.
Gotta have that. And you got to know the people, because it's a confidence thing. You know, everybody, like 2 years ago, I couldn't tie D-loop on. I'll be the first one to tell you. I'd hand my bow to Dave and be like, "Here, do something to it. Make it hit the middle." He's like, "Well, the guy holding it's probably 90% of the problem, but we'll see if we can mess with your draw length a little bit." And we'd go to twisting on cables and messing with stuff and have it apart and put it back together. But you got to trust the guy that's, you know, kind of guiding you through that. And, you know, once you show them that you can manipulate that bow to do anything you want, that's when the wheels start turning, and some guys will get really good and others will go down the rabbit hole of tuning their bow forever when we don't teach them to miss an arrow. Like, you can just miss. It's fine. You don't have to tear your bow apart or buy a new sight or a new release. Like, you can just miss. It's free. And just try not to do that again. So kind of got to teach them to walk the fine line of tinker to shoot ratio.
Yeah. Well, heck.
Yeah, buddy. So tell everybody again, if they jumped in the middle, it's Jerry Cole Memorial, and it's this Saturday only. And that's going to be July 18th, 9 o'clock start time.
8
right?
o'clock. 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock start time.
This is trickle start. Anytime between 8 and noon.
Okay.
We do close it at noon, so be here on time, please. So, because we have to tear the range down. I've got limited people to help me, so that's why we're pretty, you know, consistent on when we close the books.
Wheel of Fortune starts at 4, and we ain't gonna miss it.
Well, I don't watch Wheel of Fortune, but you know, Vanna's got a low now, so. But it's $15 entry fee, and like I said, you'll enjoy the range. It's a nice range. We try to put the targets for, you know, the tough shooters and the people just getting started. We don't want to discourage anyone, so it's not the toughest you'll ever find, but it's not the easiest you'll ever find either.
That's a big part of it. You want it to challenge them, but you don't want to make it so hard that they're like leaving in shambles. You know,
Exactly.
Just never going to emotionally recover from this experience. It's not a tack shoot, and it's what was the course, a half mile at the most, 3/4 mile.
The oval that you walk is a half a mile. If you go to each target and pull your arrow, come back, it's a 1.25 miles.
1.25 miles.
If you go to the target, yeah.
So, and we got guys in their 80s that are out here doing it.
Yeah.
Easy.
20 targets. If you can't do it, you're getting as bad as I am.
And one more time, the location where they can find the range.
Okay, it's east of Wagoner on Toppers Road. I don't have the coordinates right now with me, but it's you pass the airport, and then you come to the rodeo arena. That's where we're at, right next to the rodeo arena. We have a big sign out front, Wagoner Archery, big white sign. You can't miss it.
I say, and smell the barbecue. You'll just drive right in.
You smell that hickory smoke, and you come right on in.
That's pretty good barbecue. You come off that course shooting for 2 or 3 hours, and oh yeah,
and you can't beat the price, and it goes to a good cause.
It's a barbecue sandwich piled high, either a smoked piece of bologna or a hot link, bag of chips and a soda, and they won't cut you off at one. I mean, if you're one of them full-figured lads out there,
yeah,
you're hurting on it. Yeah,
we'll cut you 2 or 3. We'll cut you 2 or 3 slices, whatever you need.
Well, Roger, thank you for sitting down with us, man. I hope you guys have 150 of them this Saturday. Looks like the weather's going to hold out without being 100 degrees. So, you know, it's usually in July, midway through July, usually second or third weekend, right?
Yes, every year.
Okay. If there's anybody out there that has any questions or get lost, call Roger. Don't tell him I sent you there, and don't listen to any of the stories he tells you about me, because all of them are true.
Well, thank you, Roger. Been nice visiting with you.
Good talking to you guys. I'll see you later.
You bet.
Good, Roger.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bet.
Neil,
Yeah, I was saying, Neil, let's shoot a quick ASA where everything's going to be this weekend.
Connors State with Mr. Johnny King out there in Porham, Oklahoma. 9 a.m. is when he's going to kick that off. Be Saturday, Sunday. And I think he's got a Smitty's barbecue coming out.
I think I remember seeing that on the.
He was a rain out from March or April, and that culvert. You take the curve to get into his range, washed out, and basically you need a bass boat or a John boat to get to it. So we're gonna do Johnny's makeup date. He's the first one he's ever done in July because he's a college program. All his kids graduate, go home for summer at the beginning of May. So go out there and show Johnny some love. He might be a one-man band this time, but he does a good job and he'll keep you entertained. And that money goes to keeping kids in a college program shooting. He's one of the only college archery programs still functioning in Oklahoma, and he takes those kids all over the country. They'll go to Lancaster, Vegas, indoor nationals, you name it. And then the next week we've got our state championship. We're doing a bunch of pre-register stuff right now. We can do a drawing real quick. You want to do a draw? You got time to do a drawing, Dave?
We've got time.
All right. So we said we were going to cut the pre-registration off, and we were going to draw for everybody that registered before Sunday. We were going to give a Delta McKenzie target away. And we got 231 entries right now. So let me go over here, and I know y'all can't see it on the screen, so you just have to look at my ugly face. We're going to go to random number generator, and we're going to type in 3 because I'm number 2 on there. So I'm going to not put myself in this drawing. We're going to go number 3 to 231. All right. Random generator. We're going to let you pick a Delta McKenzie target off our practice range for pre-registering inside of the 10 days. Pre-registration is going to close July 22nd. So y'all get it done. It helps us out a ton to not have to make the cards the morning of. I know everybody's sick of hearing me say that, so I'll try to keep it brief. But we're going to generate us a random number, and that is 119.
Oh,
so we're going to go over here to number 119. Somebody's going to take a target home, and that person is Thomas Tucker. He goes by TJ out of Arkansas, shoots K40. He's going to be there Sunday, it looks like. So, TJ, if you are listening, I met TJ at Connors State, actually. He was over there from Arkansas. We remembered we won a team shoot, and he's like, you still giving away that gift certificate for that match bowstring? I was like, yeah, I don't have any use for it. Here you go, brother. Here's a T-shirt while you're at it. So TJ Tucker, we'll tag you in the comments when this episode comes out. You're going to take a target home Sunday, poach it right off the practice range. Unfortunately, we're going to all shoot a bunch of holes in it warming up for state first, but cores are $80 and you can get that fixed up pretty good. You'll take your pick of the litter. And if we got just a little bit of time, I try to do the donations as they come in, but they're just coming so fast that I can't keep up with them. So let's do real quick. I want to say some thank yous to people and some shops that have supported us. Met a lot of good people this year that are jumping in it. We got Squatch On Archery. My new buddy Chad Bales is the owner. You see his stickers and business cards he sent us here. He sent us a box. I don't know what broadheads are the cool ones this year, but we've got a whole bunch of them to give away at state. We've got a shred head dirt nap. I don't know if you've ever seen anything like that. We got the old classic. Everybody loves them. The G5 Montec. We've got the Rec HXP squared. That thing is pretty brutal right there. Dave, I don't think you'd be shooting those this winter. And we got the Rec XP2 in 100 grain, 2 grain expandable. So big shout out to Chad. He's going to be there along with one of our mobile shops, X-Ring Archery. He's going to be hanging out the weekend of state. If anybody dry fires their bow, you can go walk on, find Chad. We've got a couple shops coming actually. Jimmy Gould's gonna be there on site. Just the more bow presses we have, fix a breakdown, anything like that. Everybody's all in on state. So appreciate Chad. Got another couple of gift certificates from the Williams family. Business cards say Tim, I think it's Blake and Paula is his wife. They're new shooters, but they're with Red River Taxidermy, and they've sent us two $200 off coupons. So
Very
anybody,
nice.
yeah, very big shout out to Red River Taxidermy. So if you're like me, I shoot a lot of does. I usually miss the bucks I shoot at. You can ask Brian McSorley; he's seen it happen. But if you're not like me and you're going to go kill a big deer this fall, we're going to give you a chance to take a little bit of money off your taxidermy bill. They're going to be there at state. They just started shooting at the Ardmore qualifier. I think they're going to go down to Texas this weekend because they're having their state as well, and then they'll be at state next weekend. So big shout out and thank you to the Williams family. And then these were cool right here. I've never seen anything like this. This is the Schleifer twins out of Texas. Addison and Elise have sent us some crocheted personalized release pouches. Look at that. They got your unicorn.
Cool.
Isn't that fancy?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's called Handmade for Archers, crafted with care. EA custom crochet release pouches, not croquet. My wife told me that's the yard thing with the sticks and the balls. This is crochet. So sorry to everybody out there that heard me say that incorrectly. And then we got one more giveaway from our very own Mr. Dave Bosca. Going to be giving away some Butcher Barbecue certificates. I don't have my color printer hooked up yet, but I'm going to get that done in the next week, and we'll print those off. And we appreciate Dave, just like everybody else, for making a state giveaways, man. We got to have something to kill time to do all the score tallying. And I know y'all don't want to just hear me talk for 35 to 55 minutes.
No.
You'd think I'd be talked out by now, but I just have to keep going. Nothing that a little bit of caffeine can't fix. So TJ Tucker, congratulations on winning a target, man. Y'all got 9 more days to pre-register for state. Help us help you make it a smooth event. You pay on site. You don't have to pay till you get there. Just pull up, got your registration and your cards right there, slap $40 on the table and head to the chrono down below. It's going to be good. We've got the mobile, we've got the healing hydration there. Her name is Aubrey. So if anybody gets overheated this year, we're going to have a lot of water on the range. If you want to get IV, get ahead of the heat stroke, highly recommend it, because we went to Kansas this past weekend for their state, and about 26 targets in, I had all I wanted to get. It was pretty hot.
Did you find enough easy ups and enough ice chest?
I think we've got, if you got an ice chest, you might go ahead and bring it. We've got 6 or 7 commitments right now, but I want to have an ice chest every 5 targets. So if you do the math on 60, I need about a dozen of them. So yeah, we've got Trosper's going to bring some, Bryn down at Okie Land's going to bring some, and some of the gun club members have some. So show up with the ice chest if you want. Canopies, or anything that's in the open, we're going to try to have you some shade. If it's not tree shade, we're going to have some artificial man-made shade for you, just because a crowd moves slow, guys. We're going to do everything we can. The gun club's been fantastic, letting us set 2 30-target ranges to break it up. And we're going to let you come off the range 15 targets in, get you food. You're going to have Big Daddies there on Friday. You're going to have Jeff and Gail with their X team out of Arrowhead Archery Saturday, Sunday. So we're going to feed you. We're going to get you hydrated. We're going to get you, slap you on the ass and tell you to get back out there and finish the second half strong. You can shoot it in 1 day. You can shoot it in 2 days. There's 3 hotels that gave us a discount code that are right off of Southeast 2nd Street and Highway 35 in Edmond there. So use the sports discount. I think there's a Facebook post on it. Check that out if you're coming in from out of town. But shout out to
starts on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
9 a.m. and noon. 9 a.m. is the early round. Noon's the second one. If we move quick enough, noon could become 12:30. Could become 1. Just depends on the crowd. But the afternoon rounds are not nearly as full as the morning rounds. So you're going to move through the afternoon quick once we get you back out there. It's going to be small groups with 3 targets in between you. So can't get hot if you stay moving. It's when you sit down in the heat that it gets bad. I want to thank everybody that came out and supported Arkansas ASA and Kansas ASA this past weekend. Those state directors are, man, I'm so jealous of them. They're done. It's Monday and they are finished. All they got to do is go to the Classic and kill deer. So big shout out to Hunter Smith, Brad Bollinger in Kansas, and our good buddy Larry out in New Mexico. They're in the western region as well. So I know it's a drive, but Larry's a good dude, and he runs a good ship out there. So shout out to everybody that drove and put the effort into supporting them. We had a whole bunch of Okies standing up on the podium. So makes me proud, and I know the state directors appreciate y'all coming in and taking a bunch of buckles home. That's what July is all about. So get out there and compete. If your bow's not dialed in, you've had 31 qualifiers to get it done. If you're going to throw a Hail Mary at the end of the year, go ahead and switch to the hinge. Why not? It's time. Whatever. Dave's changing his draw length a week before state. Dave, we haven't got to you. Are you still shooting? Have you got your bow back together from your serving separation yet?
Yeah. I went up. I called Heath last Friday, and I went up to Heath's place, and he took it off the bow and put it on his jig and did me a good serving job. And I brought it back home, and I didn't do anything with it that day until that evening. And then I just kind of reset the center and put a loop on it and shot it. And I thought it was a little long, so I shortened it up. Why not?
If you can get that loop length just right, I'm cheap. I'll take it off with that little tiny Allen wrench. I'll pull that D loop off and redo it and put that same one back on, just so I know. Oh yeah, I know it's exactly.
You're doing it way too hard. I tell you how I fine adjust my D loop. I'll take it and I'll push the burned part back through the knot. Mm-hmm. Just that burned part is sticking out. Mm-hmm. And I'll tie 2 or 3 knots behind it to where whenever you tighten it back up, it doesn't go back as far. So there's not as much D loop that it shortens the D loop.
With a piece of serving, you mean?
Yeah, with just a piece of serving. And I'll do that 2 or 3, 4 knots, and then sometimes if it's still just a fraction long, I'll pull out the other knot and do it on the other end. And that's how I fine tune my D loop, because other than that, you can cut it off and burn it all you want. It's going to be too short. But this way you can do it just a little bit at a time.
I like that. It's a feel thing. Yeah. And 90% of people out there don't know when it's too long. I'll go to Dave and he'll be like, you're scrunched up, or you're too long, or I don't have leverage. Like my draw length is right here where it needs to be, but I'm too far back or too far up here. And you just got to get it just in that right spot to, be able to.
If all goes well, I may try and come out Saturday down there at Connor State. Rolling the dice. Wife's working out of town right now. So it's when she gets in, it's according to how big of a to-do list she's got for me. So
how's your foot holding up? Are you rehabbing all right?
I'm still wearing a brace. It'll be what it'll be. I'm getting old. I don't heal.
Dave's busier than a one-legged man in an ass-kicking competition.
I am one-legged right now. So,
well, y'all, if you're not doing anything Saturday, you got the Jerry Cole Memorial. We got all the ASA people out at Connor State, and you got Texas down south. I think Missouri too. So you can hit Jerry Cole on Saturday and just keep on driving to Missouri. All those state championships are happening. It ain't that hot yet, so it's only in the low 90s. Oklahoma State, I don't know. I've tried bribing the weatherman. I've done a rain dance. I've paid the AC bill, and it's probably still going to be 98 degrees. So start hydrating now. Get ready for it. Get excited. Get pre-registered. We might do another giveaway if we hit 250 or 260 or 275. We might see what we can come up with. All those prizes are going to be pick it up at the state championship after you shoot it. So, don't pre-register if you're not coming. I don't want to turn in a bunch of fake numbers and have nationals calling me. I wouldn't do anything like that. Wouldn't do that.
All right. Deal. Sound like a good deal.
All right, Dave. You be good, man.
You bet. Take care.